My reason for the article is basically I want to look at King and how he came to terms with the issue of nonviolence the philosophy he gathered from Gandhi. Gandhi being a Hindu, and how the King come to terms with his Christian values and the Hindu values. And it was very easy for King because it wasn't an issue of theology, it was an issue of social justice. And so I wanted to show the link between King, Gandhi, and especially Nelson Mandela, because seeing that South Africa was the nurturing place for both for the nonviolence movement. You know, it's interesting because King has his issue of nonviolence really came from his parents. And his father, Daddy King, was affectionately known, taught King and his siblings the value of fighting for others. And you see somebody in need, human dignity, those type of things. So King already had this inspiration for the good of the human dignity and equal treatment for everybody came from his father. It was further developed when he went to seminary and he came across the president, Dr. Benjamin Mays, who further developed King's commitment to social values. But it was Gandhi's approach that really, where King saw his niche, because you know when you meet violence with violence, nothing really good comes of it. But King saw Gandhi's approach to nonviolence as the Christian value, and he saw this as a way to go about working for human dignity, human treatment for all people. And I think what I liked about King there is that when he talked about human dignity for all people, he meant all people. Catholic, Protestant, Jews, Gentiles, Hindus, he worked with them all. And I think that was, for me, an interesting approach because much of Christianity at that time was really, if you wasn't part of the Christian faith, you didn't really talk too much to each other. But King definitely, I would call him the modern day prophet. I would say today, and it's funny that you mentioned this because King is the modern day prophet. Just today in one of my meetings, I thought as I was preparing for this interview, I thought he was the voice, the international and of course national voice. He spoke up where nobody else was willing to speak up. And I think what we need today is more figures. I don't know if it doesn't have to be political, more, and sometimes not just religious. Maybe it's a combination of political and religious figures coming together where we can speak for social justice, the equality of all people, the human dignity of all people. And I think in the next few months and a few years to come, that is going to be a critical issue. How are we going to look at the treatment of all people and maintain this human dignity? One of the things that come to mind is immigration. How are we going to approach immigration with a sense of human dignity? And I think that's what I like to impress on others. That's what King was fighting for. He lost his life over that because he went down to Memphis to fight for those sanitation workers and for better treatment. And he lost his life. So why are we willing to be the next voice, the next king, the next whoever that will fight for human dignity?